All right, so today I'm on another air raid siren adventure. I'm down here near downtown Los Angeles looking for more old air raid sirens. I got about 15 of them on the list today. The area I'm going to be going over is going to be between the 110 to the east, La Brea to the west, the 10 freeway on the north, and Vernon Avenue on the south. That little section there has got about 15 or so sirens in it, and I'm hoping to find them all today. I started out down here near what's just down the road here is LA Trade Tech and the USC and the museums and stuff. The only thing, surprisingly, I walked all over the place and I couldn't find too many places to eat. There was supposed to be a diner over here, but it was closed. So if you're planning on this trip, I suggest eat first and then come out and find the sirens. So here's the first one right there. It's on 22nd and Main Street, right on the corner. That's a SD10, model SD10. And the more I learn about these things, the more I now know that that model, which is the most popular one you'll find in the city, was put in during sometime between the late 50s to early 80s. So you wouldn't have seen these during World War II. These would not have been around during the, the Los Angeles air raid, but you would have heard these types of sirens going off, I believe, the last Friday of every month. Yeah, so I'll try to get the sound effect for this one so you can hear what LA sounded like during the Cold War. So let's go find the next one, which is actually just up the street here. Another SD10, just a couple of blocks north, so let's go for it. All right, so here's the next one. Right there. It's on the corner of Main and 18th Street right here, across the street from the Deja Vu Girls Place. I don't know if you can see that, all backlit, but it's right along the 10 freeway here. Anyway, here's another SD10 on the corner of 18th and Main Street, so you can get two and knock them off. Now the next one is a little further down Washington, so let's go check that one out. Hopefully I can find some food along the way. All right, here's the next one, another SD10. It's on the corner of, well, not on the corner. There's Washington right there, and this is this street. This is Cherry. It's dead end. It dead ends here at the. We can see it. Where's the sign? I step over. Yeah, there's the sign. That's the CHP building right back there. So right before you get to the CHP building, there's another SD10. Now this one is a little interesting. I'll see if I can get a better shot of it, but it looks like this one is still powered. There's like a silver pole running up here. Let me get closer. So, having a hard time seeing anything here. Here's the pole, and right here, there's a silver pole right there that's running up, and there's power coming out of that. So I think this one might still be working. I haven't heard it. I don't know when they would power it, but I know there was an art installation recently where they had these guys going off. This might have been one of them, but yeah. Looks like this one still has power. Part of the reason why I do these trips, it takes me to parts of the city that I would have never gone to if I hadn't been on these scavenger hunts, like this cool little mural here. I would have never found it. Like, look at this guy right there, and then this guy. I think it's a teacher with his book to the students down here. Yeah, I would have never found this mural if I hadn't been on this trip. We spent so much time in the car. There we go. I think it looks like what, Frederick Douglass, Abraham Lincoln, right here. So where is it? There's Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. Yeah. So if I hadn't done these trips, you're in your car, you try to find the best route to drive. I would have never found this mural, and I'm just having like so much fun filming this thing. Here I am at the next one. This one's on, this is Vermont. There's the freeway right there, the 10 freeway. It's right where Vermont comes south of the 10 freeway. It's like 1 block down on 22nd and Vermont. And there is the next SD10. Now this one, I don't know if you can see it from here. I'll try to get it with my other camera. There's a cable running from that power line to this pole. It's not a very big cable, so I don't know how much power these things really need, but I'm curious if this one is also powered up. There's nothing, like the other one had a little thing going to the ground. This one goes from directly to the high tension, the power line. So yeah, maybe more of these are powered than I thought. Down here on the corner of Jefferson and Hoover. So here's USC, and here's more of the USC campus here. And I'm looking around. There's supposed to be another SD10 around here, but it's not here. It's gone. But if memory serves, these buildings behind me here are fairly new. They did construction over here not too long ago. There's a plaque here that I've been seeing. It says 2017, which means, what do we talk about? 3 years ago, this place was redone. So they must have, just like downtown, yeah, they must have gotten rid of it. So there's another one that's gone. The next one's going to be a little bit down Jefferson here, all the way down to Western, and then the next one after that is going to be Brea. So I've got a little bit of a long walk ahead of me. Let's get started. Right here is Jefferson, and this street here is behind me. That's Danker, and I wish everything wasn't so bright, but anyway. So there's the other SD10. It's in front of this old liquor store. Now, I was looking at it from a distance, and it looks like, again, it's got power coming out of here. There's like a little thing right here going up into there, and into whatever junction box that is. An interesting thing is that's got graffiti written all over it, so obviously somebody shimmied up there at some point and tagged it. But if we get closer, see here, there's like this little wire coming out of here. It looks like it comes down, but then around here, we'll see. I don't know if you can see it right here. There's a bundle of wire right there. There's a bundle of wire just wrapped up. So it looks like at some point this was attached. It's been disconnected right now, but it can still be connected. So yeah, some of these, a lot more of these, are in a state that could be used. Here's the next one, another SD10. It's on the corner of Brea here and Jefferson. And there's the, if I can look behind it, right back there, like right up in here, that's the Crenshaw line, the Expo line. Well, I looked over there, and it's got a small cable running down that goes into the pole. It's going into the pole, and then it's running all the way up to a post, like right about there, and then that's running up into the Sirens. So again, these are very thin wires though, so I'm not really sure what it is it's powering. It doesn't look like it's enough to power these things. If I looked at my map, it was about 2.5 miles from the last one down here to Brea. The next one is north on Washington Boulevard. I'm going to go to Washington Redondo, and then I'm going to head back down south again to Leimert Park. So let's see what I can find. All right, so I just passed the 8-mile mark. This is halfway for the trip, so I still have 8 miles to go back to the beginning. I always do these as a loop, and I think that was number 7 or 8, and I got 15 planned, so I guess we got about 7 or 8 more. Found a pupusa place along the way. I was getting hungry, and I found a little mom and pop pupusa place. If you guys don't know what pupusas are, it's like a cornmeal pancake, and they stuff it with like cheese and beans and stuff. It's really good. I highly recommend you try them if you get them. A lot of people eat 2. 1 is perfectly fine for me. Anyway, had lunch. I got 8 miles left, and hopefully that pupusa is enough to get me going another 8 miles. So I had lunch back there at a pupuseria. I continued up La Brea, made a left on Washington, which is this street back here, and then a right on Redondo, and there's our next air raid siren. This one's different. This is a Federal Model 500T, I believe it's what it's called. And well, this one's not hooked up, but it's got wires all over it, like it could be. And there's wires going past it right there. So I don't know how difficult it would be to make these things work again. This looks like an older version, an older model type. I'll do a little bit of research when I get back home, and I'll try to put it up to talk a little bit more about when this one was done. But the wirechief.com place says that this is called a rotating, so I guess it would blare out and rotate around. And this one is located right in front of the Lucy's here on Redondo and Washington. Oh, and you could probably tell I'm wearing different clothes here, and the sky is different. It's raining, so I kind of screwed up when I got up here the last time. I was a little tired, and I was hitting the picture button. So I was just taking photographs, and I wasn't taking video. So I was just talking to a camera that wasn't rolling. It happens. Anyway, there's a different one here. I'm glad I came back to get it. Federal Model 500, and I'll see you at the next one. Here I am at the corner of Expo and 7th, and there's supposed to be another Federal 500 siren around on this corner. I've walked up the block that way. I've looked all around here, and I'm going to be heading down the street that way. But according to the Wire Chief website, it's supposed to be like right here behind me someplace, and it's not. So that's another one gone, which is a shame, because that's a 500, and there aren't too many of those left around here. So yeah, so getting a little tired at this point. I've been walking for 12 miles, 6 hours, and supposed to have about 5 more to see, and that's going to be an additional 6 miles. My legs really hurt. I got to get out more. So let's see how far I can get here. Well, after making that statement back there for on Exposition in 7th, saying I was getting tired, I started walking, and yeah, I'm getting blisters on the bottom of both of my feet, and my knees are starting to ache, and so are my hips. And you know, a big thing about taking these trips, taking any trip outdoors, anywhere, especially if you're going to be going in the wilderness hiking, is just knowing your limits. So I think I'm going to call this trip, call it a day. We got to see a bunch of sirens. We got to see 2 different types. We got to see the SD10s, and we got to see a 500. I was hoping to see some of those birdhouse sirens, the Federal Code 5s, or the Zero drones. There's always been some debate on what they really were. I think they're a cut down Federal Code. But I'll just have to do that on the next trip. That'll be a shorter trip, 6 miles for 6 sirens. I'll do that sometime in the future. Until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along. And I hope you enjoyed these sirens. If I can do anything different or better, let me know. The exciting part about this trip is we got to see that some of the sirens still have wires connected to them. If they're working or not, I don't know. But I'll have to look into that. Anyway, until next time, I'm going to go home, take a bath, try to relax my muscles and heal up these blisters. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future aerial siren walks. And until then, as always, remember to get out and stay safe. Thanks for watching.